Welcome to my channel. Today I have a new topic for you, the intranasal vaccine to fight COVID-19. So let me give you an insight on this intranasal vaccine that has been developed by Bharat Biotech, which has the capability to protect against COVID-19 infection and transmission. Coming to the table of contents, before I go into the details of the vaccine, I will tell you a little bit details on the types of SARS-CoV-2 vaccine, the issues with intramuscular vaccine that we are taking, and a little bit introduction on the nasal vaccine and how are these nasal vaccines produced using adenoviral vectors, the mechanism of action of these nasal vaccines, the risks and drawbacks of these vaccines, and a simple flowchart to show you how the vaccine development has been accelerated and the current status of this nasal vaccine that has been developed by Bharat Biotech, and few takeaway messages. So as we know now, we all have been exposed to this concept of vaccination, and everybody knows the importance of vaccination. And particularly in this pandemic situation, it has been very, very important. So these vaccines are available in different forms. So they can be as injections, and one more type of vaccines that we have is the respirable vaccines. So this can be taken as liquid drops or it can be taken as nasal sprays. And apart from that, these kind of vaccines that they are developing can be of various types. So it can be either live attenuated, it can be inactivated. So live attenuated, it's that kind of vaccine which the virus will be in the live form, but its pathogenicity will be removed in such a way that it cannot cause infection, but it can be in the live form, so that once it comes into our body will have the capability to produce your antibodies against this virus, but it cannot cause any diseases. Similarly, there are other type of vaccines like recombinant vaccines, protein subunit vaccine. So I've already made a video on IASC's protein subunit vaccine. You can please have a look on that, which gives more detail about protein subunit vaccine. And there are other type of vaccines like RNA and DNA vaccine. So what is the main issue with the intramuscular vaccine? So whatever vaccine we are taken now, these are coming under the category of intramuscular vaccine. So these kind of intramuscular vaccine, they induce antibody production in your body, especially the IgG type of antibody. So antibodies are of different types. You have IgA, IgG. So this intramuscular vaccine produces IgG antibodies. And the main problem with this intramuscular vaccine is it cannot control the viral entry. So there will be viral entry and then your body starts producing antibodies. And in that way, your transmission cannot be controlled in this particular intramuscular vaccine. So in this way, they call it as leaky vaccine, because in case I'm showing this diagram, please see this diagram, it will you can understand it better. So imagine you are person 1 and you have been vaccinated with the intramuscular vaccine. Okay, so now if a virus is infecting you, you may fall ill or you may not fall ill, but you will become a asymptomatic patient and you can be a vector, or you can transmit it to the next person. You will not develop disease because you might have taken the vaccine, and because of that you may not develop it, or if you develop also it will be in the mild stages. But imagine there is a second person who is not vaccinated. So now there is a chance of transmission. So you can transmit it to the next person and that person can suffer from COVID in a more manner. So in this way, this transmission cannot be taken into account, or it cannot be controlled in this particular intramuscular vaccine. So in this intranasal vaccine, this is targeted. How can we stop the infection and how can we stop the transmission? So as I told you, this nasal vaccine has been developed by Bharat Biotech and it is already finished its preclinical trials. So as we all know, preclinical trials are the trials which are done on animals, and once the animal model results are positive, then only the drug will go for the next phase, that is the clinical trials, that is on the patients. So they have got some promising results in the preclinical trial, and it has shown that it has got the capability to prevent both upper and lower respiratory tract infection. So they have used a chimpanzee adenoviral vector for the insertion of the spike protein gene from SARS-CoV virus, and it has got the capability, this viral vector which they have designed, they have seen that it has got a very good viral clearance capability both in the upper and lower respiratory tract in the models that they have chosen, that is the mice model, hamster model. So these models they have tried and they have got a promising results. So the main advantage of this vaccine will be definitely it is needle free and it is non-invasive. So people will definitely prefer these kind of vaccines, and it is easy to administer. You may not require any trained healthcare professionals here. It is simple like a spray or drops which you can do it yourself, and it eliminates the need of these kind of needles, and because of which needle associated risk or injuries can be nullified, and it suits children's basically. So children's are more they're scared and they may lead to other problems to them. So in that case, these kind of nasal sprays can be definitely a boon for children's, and scalability can be done in a better way. So from the past, they have seen that these adenoviral vectors, these are very good vectors when they want to transfer any antigen into mammalian host. So using this concept, they have tried to use the adenoviral vector in this particular case also. And through research, they have seen that these kind of adenoviral vectors, they can induce both innate and adaptive immune responses. So your immune response can be done in a better way, but there are few disadvantages of these vectors also. So that I will be highlighting in the further slides. But these kind of vectors, they are deficient in replication. They cannot replicate, but they are capable enough to infect the host cell and induce an immune response. So for this main reason, we try to use adenoviral vectors in this particular case. So other adenoviral based SARS-CoV vaccines that we have is AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. This is also an adenoviral vector kind of vaccine, and Sputnik V, that is also a same kind, and Johnson & Johnson's vaccine. So these three vaccines which are intramuscular type, they are also use the adenoviral based vectors for vaccine production. So now let us see how this nasal vaccine works. So basically you will be taking this nasal vaccine in the form of sprays or drops, and they have the capability to prevent your infection in the initial stage itself, because we know the main route by which the virus enters and causes infection is the nasal route. So this is why the nasal vaccine has been targeted to this area itself, so that once the virus attacks, the antibody production happens within this area, and that's how the infection and transmission can be prevented. So how this vaccine has been produced, so this is just to show you that. So this is the chimpanzee adenovirus. So this has been modified, okay. So this modified vaccine has been live attenuated. That means it is made avirulent. That means it cannot cause disease, but it is in the live form, so that once it enters your body, it will have the capability to induce an immune response in your body. So then this acts as a vector. So now you have the SARS-CoV virus. From this virus, the gene for the spike protein, okay. So the gene for the spike protein will be cut, and that gene will be introduced into this vector through recombinant DNA technology. So once you have this entire vector with the gene of your interest, this will be called as the vaccine. So this is given as nasal spray in this particular case because it is a nasal vaccine, and it will see to it that the infection and transmission can be prevented to a greater extent. So it has the capability of neutralizing, of producing the neutralizing IgG, and most important, the mucosal IgA. So since it is infecting the mucosal layer, that is the nasal cavity, the cells present there itself starts producing this kind of antibodies, that is the mucosal IgA, which acts as a first line of defense. So this is supposed to be the site of infection in most of these cases, and that is why this becomes the best line of defense for this particular vaccine. So this is according to the professor of microbiology and immunology from New York University. So according to him, he tells that this becomes the best line of defense, because if you can try to target the site at which the virus is infecting you and generate an immune response in that particular stage itself, definitely it cannot infect you. And if it cannot infect you, you cannot transmit it to the next person. So in this way, we can try to curb this particular disease. And coming to how is it different from the injected vaccines like intramuscular vaccines, as I told you, this is just like a spray which can be sprayed easily, and healthcare intervention, healthcare provider intervention will not be required. So let us just see how the vaccine exactly works. So this is the antigen now. So whatever I showed you, that adenoviral vector with the spike protein gene, that entire thing which is used, that will act as an antigen. And now And once that acts as an antigen, the epithelial cells in the nasal cavity, they will identify that as a foreign molecule, and it will start producing the signals to our immune system, so that our immune cells starts becoming active, and they start producing a lot of cytokine storms and other things, and finally they start producing your IgA. Okay, so that is what is seen here. Mucosal IgA secretion happens, and that is through your epithelial cells itself. So now at the same site of infection, you have the IgA production which is happening, and that will definitely attack your antigens in case it comes in the future, and your severity of infection can be reduced to a greater amount. So in this way, your immune system will work. There are a lot of cells here, like your B cells, your cytokines like IgA, interleukin 6, interleukin 5, and plasma cells. All these are very much essential. They are our immune response which happens, and finally we can fight this particular antigen. So at the same site of infection, if the immune response was seen and the antigen is, the effect is seen in such a way, definitely the chances of infection and the chances of transmission can be reduced. So with that basic idea, this vaccine has been developed. So coming to few risks and drawbacks of this particular vaccine. So since it is a live attenuated virus, and that means it doesn't have the capability to produce disease, but it is in the live form, there is a very rare risk of reversion of this virus. That means it can cause disease again. So if that happens, it will be a disastrous situation. So there are very rare cases like this. They have seen such rare case in polio vaccine also. So proving the safety of this vaccine is very, very important, and that can be understood only during the clinical trials. So once the clinical trials are done properly and they get results out of it, then they will be capable to understand if these kind of situations can happen. And one more drawback is the antibodies produced, these are more of IgA type, which may not be very strong in the lower respiratory tract. So it is very effective in the upper respiratory tract, but in the lower respiratory tract, it may not be very, very efficient in comparison with the vaccine or the antibodies that is produced by the intramuscular type. And the immunity waning is very fast in this kind of vaccine in comparison with intramuscular vaccine. So each vaccine has got its own advantage and disadvantage. So how basically they try to improve upon this, that matters. So we all know any drug or any vaccine to come to the market, it goes through a rigorous studies. So once it undergoes preclinical studies, so this happens in the animal models, and once it is proved successful, it goes to the clinical trial. So this clinical trial is again phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and in each phase the number of people who are undergoing this kind of studies will increase. So once it is going successful in phase 1, it will enter phase 2, and once it is successful in phase 2, it will enter phase 3. So once all these 3 phases are done, the approval will be given for this particular vaccine, and that vaccine, once it is approved, even after that, it will be undergoing your post-marketing surveillance. This is to see if it is having any side effects once it has come to the market. So taking the people into consideration, they will do these kind of surveillance, and that will help in enhancing or to see if there is any problem with these kind of vaccines. So we have seen in previously these kind of vaccines for development, it would take like 10, 12, 15 years. But we have seen with this COVID vaccine, like within a few months itself, that is within 12 to 24 months, how they have come up with these kind of vaccines. So this is the accelerated process, and that is the need of the hour. So coming to the current state of this particular vaccine, as I told you, they have finished the preclinical trials, and now they are in the first stage of clinical trials. And as I told you, they have used the chimpanzee adenoviral vector for the production of vaccine. And they have seen that it has the capability to stop the infection. So definitely if you are not getting infected, you cannot transmit the disease. That is how we can stop this disease. So they are planning to roll out 10 crore doses of this nasal vaccine by end of this year. So coming to few takeaway messages, definitely this kind of made in India nasal vaccine could be a game changer, especially for children. So this is according to WHO, and that is definitely going to be a game changer, as I told you, because nasal vaccine would be a good one for children especially, and it will definitely target the nasal cavity, as I told you. So the first line of defense is the nasal cavity, because this virus enters our system through the nasopharyngeal route. So there itself, if you can tackle it, it will be definitely a good one. And definitely we will also reduce pollution to some extent, because in case of intramuscular vaccine, you require a lot of needles, syringes, so a lot of plastic waste is generated, and that can be controlled in this particular vaccine. And this vaccination drives will become more flexible, because healthcare professionals' intervention may not be required, and you can yourself spray the nasal vaccine. So in this way, your vaccination drives will become very, very flexible. But faster waning of immunity in this particular vaccine has to be considered, and something has to be done for that. So definitely, I hope Bharat Biotech will do some good job in this particular case, and this nasal vaccine will definitely help us in preventing COVID-19 infection, and it will help us in curbing this transmission and help us in finally getting this pandemic to an end. These are the references that I used to make the PPT that I'm sharing with you. Please share it with maximum people that you know. Please support us. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for instant notifications. Thank you.